You're listening to Release Your Resistance with Bex Beltran, episode 96. Welcome to Release Your Resistance. This is Bex. The only reason why any of us don't have what we want in life is because of our own resistance. Right now, I'm learning how to recognize and release my resistance, and this podcast tells you how you can release your resistance so that you can live the exact life that you want. Let's get started. Welcome to November. We are entering the gratitude and gift-giving season, and I thought today's episode could be all about some of my favorite gifts to give and receive, and maybe this will give you some ideas. Coming up with the products, services, and ideas for this episode has also been a great exercise in gratitude. So let's talk about gratitude first. You can sit down with a notebook or a journal or a piece of paper and make a list, like I did, of your favorite gifts to give and to receive. Really think about what gifts you have loved receiving and why, and what gifts have you loved giving and why, and what gifts would you put on a wish list for yourself right now and why. And going through this process for myself in preparation for today's episode really made me appreciate what I have been given, how much I can give, and what I already have and appreciate so much. So let me know if you end up doing this gratitude exercise for yourself and what you realize in doing it. Now let's talk about my favorite gifts. Obviously, I cannot tell you the best gifts you should give to other people specifically because I don't know your relationships, their personalities, your time and money commitments, and all of those details. Instead, I decided my best option is for me to tell you the favorite gifts I love to give and receive, both from other people and myself, and what I would appreciate receiving as a gift from someone else. Of course, I have a lot of specifics and maybe some new to you name brands to share today, so I don't expect you to remember everything. I'll just put it all in links for you in the show notes for this episode at bexb.org/gift favorites. That's all squished together, no spaces, GIFT-FAVORITES. And of course, I have a notebook related to gift giving that I have to tell you about in case you want to use it to write down your thoughts and ideas as you listen to this episode the second time. Because based on last week's episode, we know you can never listen to the same podcast twice. So the notebook is called Gift Giving Guidebook, and it is a gift idea generator notebook. It has a few different sections to make coming up with the perfect gift idea easy for you in the future. There is an index section where you can assign a page number for everyone who you might be giving a gift to. And then there's a month at a glance section where you can list out all of the events for each individual month so that you can plan your gift giving in advance instead of waiting until the last minute. And there are individual detail pages for each individual person who you would be giving gifts for, and there is an open note section where you can write generic and random ideas like the ones that I'm about to share with you now. So my favorite type of gift to give is a bundle or a compilation, like, for example, a gift basket. And I don't necessarily always put my curated gifts into a basket. I use any kind of container. Sometimes I buy a container. Sometimes I make a container. And yes, sometimes I do use an actual basket. When I think about giving someone a curated or bundled gift, I don't have any specific rules. It really just depends on the person and the context. And I have gone to some special stores to curate a few fun products that I think that might be interesting to the recipient. And I've gone to the dollar store to grab some familiar candies or snacks and little school supplies or little beauty products and put those all together into a little gift bundle. There's really no specific rules. I just try to match the contents and the theme to the person and the event. For example, my dad loves unique and interesting food and candies from different places with different flavors, so I try to put all of those together for him and get him something new and different every time, unless he specifically tells me that he really liked something, and then I'll try to bring that one back in the next collection. Once, as a housewarming gift, I went to Target and got a plastic watering can, and then I put some solar lights and other outdoor type things to give to someone who had just moved into her new home. So you can see there are just so many possibilities, and I love that these gifts can be big or small, affordable or luxurious. They don't have to be wrapped. You can just make your container pretty with some ribbon or other decorations. I love wrapping my curated bundles in clear cellophane wrap and adding a bow or a ribbon so the recipient can already see through the wrapping to see what they're getting. My favorite gift that I ever received was a curated collection of fancy bottled water from all over. I don't know how long she spent, I imagine weeks or maybe months, but my friend, who is a flight attendant, collected uniquely colored and shaped and sized water bottles from wherever she traveled. And she might have even recruited other people to bring water bottles too. And then she put all of these different water bottles together in a box and brought it to me as a gift. And at first I was surprised and maybe a little shocked, but it turned out to be one of my most favorite gifts ever. First, it's something that I love and use, water. Secondly, it was a curated bundle, which I love to give and receive. And thirdly, it was consumable. That meant I could use the water, drink it, enjoy it, share it. I didn't have to maintain it or care for it or display it. The gift was so thoughtful because I do love drinking water and I love the portability of the water bottles and I love the interesting brands and types. In other words, it was the perfect gift for me. And I'm not suggesting that you collect water bottles from all over the world to give someone water for their birthday, but hearing this example, can you think of a fun or interesting curated gift to give someone? In the December notebook newsletter that's coming out the first week of December, I will be sharing some gift bundle ideas that you can put together with some of the notebooks and journals from my shop. So make sure you're subscribed to that once a month newsletter so that you can get the video in a few weeks with some more gift bundle ideas. Before I tell you about some of my other favorite products and services, I also want to give a note on regifting. I am 100% in favor of regifting. Some of the best gifts I have received have been obviously regifted. In fact, sometimes that's even stated at the time of offering. I love to regift things that I've received that I know were offered to me with the most loving intention, but just aren't necessarily the right fit for me. So there are two ways we can think about regifting. One way is when I already own something that I just know is a better fit for someone else. That's a very personal regift. I have been regifted and also regiven things that have already been used and enjoyed. For example, when I moved into a new house, a friend gave me a wall clock that had been in her home hanging on her wall. It was a used regift, and I was so appreciative of it. And I still use that clock in my current home over 20 years later, and I think of her whenever I look at the clock. And I love the idea that it hung in both of our homes. And the reason that she gave me that wall clock instead of giving me the new clock she was planning to give was because before the actual date of the gift, I made a comment about my color scheme and decor, and she realized that the wall clock that she had planned to give me wouldn't match. So she decided to take one off the wall, give it to me instead, and she kept the one that she had purchased. And I love the used clock that she gave me. I love that the new clock got put up in her home. I just love the entire story of it. Here's another example of something that I happily regave to someone else. I had a book that I loved and enjoyed, and a friend of mine mentioned that she liked that book, but she had lost or given away her copy. And I just kind of made a little mental note of that comment. And then when her birthday rolled around and I was thinking about what I could give her that she would really appreciate, I remembered our conversation about the book. So I went to my bookshelf, grabbed the book, put it in a gift bag, and happily brought it to her birthday celebration. And I was happy to pass the book along because I was done with it and she was happy to receive it. And she didn't mind that it was used. She thought it was a sustainable, thoughtful, and personal gift. Regifting can be so fun. So should we make up some terms? Here's the second way that we can think about regifting. So we could call it domino or boomerang way to regift. Maybe you have experienced this, or maybe you want to start one of these as a fun tradition if you don't already do this. Domino regifting could be the idea of a gift that you receive and then immediately turn around and give to someone else with the expectation that they are probably going to turn around and give it to someone else. So maybe a better word for this would be traveling regifting, like the gift travels. But these are great for the less personal types of gifts when you want to show up with a gift to show love or support or recognition of whatever is happening, but the gift doesn't need to be personal or meaningful. So maybe you or people you know have these in a gift stash. Do you have this when you receive a gift that is just lovely and wonderful and thoughtful, but it's not your style or your flavor or your scent or your color, when it's just not for you, but it is a lovely gift. So you put it away, and the next time a gift-giving situation comes up, as long as you're not trying to be too personal or put too much thought into it, you could just go to your gift stash, grab that decorative throw or candle or notebook or journal, and there are so many things that can fit into this category of lovely gifts, but not super personal. They can be appropriate for multiple types of gift-giving situations. And that would be like a domino regift that just gets given and given and given. So I've applied this domino regifting strategy when I have had multiple holiday gift exchange parties to go to. I might bring something from my gift stash as an offering, and then whatever gift I receive and walk away with could be my offering for the next holiday gift exchange party that I go to. Rinse and repeat. So boomerang regifting might not be quite as popular. This would probably only happen within relationships with an open mind and similar sense of humor. This is when I give you something, maybe like a joke present, or maybe there's some kind of inside joke or a funny element to it, and then you give it back to me, and then it gets given back again and again, like a boomerang. So I have heard of some gifts that get passed around inside of a family or a group of friends or coworkers, and each time it gets regifted, it also gets embellished or modified to add to the humor and enhance the tradition. Okay, well, let's talk about buying new gifts in case you're not that into regifting. Here are some of my favorite products that I love to use, and I think they would make great gifts. You can consider giving them to someone else or getting them for yourself as a gift. If you have listened to any of my journaling episodes, you've probably heard me talking about Papermate Flair felt tip pens. I just love journaling with them and writing my notes and making my lists with them. I always try to have an extra pack on hand, so I think these are the perfect part of a great bundle with a notebook or a journal. And people in my life know that they will always get a delighted reaction from me if I open a gift and it contains a package of these Papermate Flair felt tip pens. And if I happen to receive two at once from two different people, there is never a sense of disappointment or embarrassment, as in, oh no, it's the same thing. No. That is a double the excitement and gratitude situation. And I love giving these pens to other people who I know love to write or color, especially if they have never experienced them before. And just to add, while we are staying in the theme of writing and paper products, especially if you are putting together a bundle or a gift basket, another one of my favorite products is Bic whiteout correction tape. These are brightly colored little dispensers that usually come in a 4-pack, and I use these and go through these continuously. I love using whiteout when I'm writing in my journal or in my calendar or any of my notebooks, and it's because I don't like scratch outs and I don't like scribble throughs. So whenever I make a mistake, I prefer to use whiteout and then write over it. Another one of my favorite gifts that I didn't realize at the time would become a favorite that I received 5 or 6 years ago and have since given myself every year is the Day Designer Planner. A planner is basically a very detailed calendar, and I am very specific about what I like. I prefer the 5x8 flexible cover non-floral design weekly and monthly planner and notebook. If it's not that exact recipe, I probably don't want it. And I received my first Day Designer as a gift from my sister years ago, and at the time I thought it was a lovely notebook, but I didn't use that style of planner, and so that gift really did sit unused for a while until something made me get it out and start using it, and I loved it. I loved organizing my day and my month and my to-dos and so many things. And then there was a big fat note section in the back so I could make all the random notes and lists and everything that came up, and I loved it so much. And then moving forward, I was very intent on finding the exact same style for the next year. And it took a little bit of hunting, but I found it. And then I continued to buy that exact same style every year. Day Designer did start to change a few elements in their designs as the years went by. And last year, that style was changed much too far for my liking. So I even thought I might have to break up with Day Designer last year, but I did find one that I made do with and used in 2021. I adapted to it, but this year I'm thinking of making my own planner for 2022. So I'm thinking of making 2 versions, one that is dated. I prefer dated planners, but the second version that I'll make will be undated, and that way it is timeless. So whenever you start to use it, you can just fill in the days and weeks and months for whenever you start using it. And that way the planner will never expire. It's totally stashable and regiftable. On the higher scale of gifts, a gift that I frequently ask my husband for is perfume. My current favorite is called Lilac Path. It's from Erin by Estee Lauder, and it is such a lovely scent, and it comes in a beautiful bottle with what looks like a rose quartz crystal topper on top, and I have received it from my husband a number of times. And then during quarantine, because of some effective marketing and promotion, I gave it to myself. So last summer when I was ordering it for myself, I realized I could get the perfume bottle monogrammed, and because my name is only 3 letters, it fits as a monogram. So my past few bottles of Lilac Path have been monogrammed with my name, and it just makes it that much more special. And that is an example of a gift that I love to give myself, and of course, I would be happy to receive it. And I don't know if I would give someone this or any perfume unless I really knew them personally to make sure that it is a gift that they really value and appreciate. Perfume and anything with a scent does tend to be a little more personal, but if you already know that someone likes it and uses it, I think it's a great idea, and I think the monogram adds an unexpected, luxurious touch. Other gifts that I love to give and receive are candles from Jax Kelly. These candles smell amazing. They have crystals in them, so after you burn down the candle, at the end you get to harvest a beautiful little crystal. I love their candle scents. I love the crystal selections. They also sell earrings, which I have happily given to others and myself. And I love that it's a woman-owned company in California, and I have found that they have a really good ordering experience and delivery process. Another fun gift for me to give and receive is small batch handmade soap. I love handmade soaps with interesting textures, ingredients, and scents, and the makers that I've been using in recent years have either closed up shop or I've lost contact with them, so I am on the lookout for my next favorite soap maker, so let me know if you have some suggestions for me. And I don't know if services would necessarily be gifts for other people, But why not? The number one service that I have been using and loving for years that I consider a monthly gift for myself is a clothing borrowing subscription service called Le Tote. There are a lot of different clothing subscription boxes for shopping where a stylist chooses some clothes and sends them to you, and then you purchase them or send them back. And I use the original Le Tote monthly subscription, which lets me choose the clothes that I want to borrow, receive them, wear them, and then either buy them or send them back. And this service has really changed my consumer habits, and it helped me keep my closet more minimized than it ever was before. And receiving my Le Tote boxes lets me wear interesting, new-to-me clothes that I don't have to keep if I don't like, and then I can wear once and then return. I'm the kind of person who likes to wear different clothes all the time, so Le Tote lets me try out different styles and designers and textures and sizes without ever having to go to a store. So this might be more of a gift recommendation of something that you would give yourself, or it might be something you would ask someone to get for you as a gift. But who knows? You might also figure out a way to give someone else a month or two of a subscription so they can try it out. Another thing that I love about Le Tote is that they often have really good sales. So I have given jewelry that I got through Le Tote sales as gifts. So you might be able to get the subscription for yourself and then choose some things to purchase to give to other people. I'm sharing my experience with this one subscription box service because it is one that I have been using and loving for years, but there are so many other subscription boxes that I think would make perfect gifts. There are monthly makeup boxes, candy boxes, cheese, wine, pretty much anything that you can probably think of. Someone has probably put it into a subscription box model, and you could send it to someone or get it for yourself. Another type of service that could be a gift to give yourself or someone else is the gift of coaching or another valuable service. So if you want to give a coaching session with me to someone you love, just email me at hi@bexb.org and we can figure out how to set that up as a gift. And you can also give yourself the gift of self-awareness by hiring me as your coach. Just go to bexb.org/coaching to see how to get started. And in the coming weeks on this podcast, I'm hoping to introduce you to a few more service providers that you might find helpful during this time of year and any time of year, like a dietitian, a movement, an opening expert, a travel advisor, and a photographer, and who knows who else. So maybe a lovely gift would be to book a session with one of these knowledgeable experts. So those are a few examples and suggestions of products and services that I am so grateful for in my life and that I love to both give and receive as the perfect gift for people and from people I love. And now you have permission to re-gift if you didn't think you had it before. So what are you thinking? Will you think of your own perfect gifts as a gratitude exercise? Did you get any ideas for gifts or gift compilations or gift subscriptions that you could give or ask for? And did any of the suggestions that I shared today bring up any resistance for you? I want to hear all about it. Leave me a comment in the show notes at bexb.org/giftfavorites, GIFTFAVORITES, or send me an email at hi@bexb.org. And I cannot end this episode without reminding you that I do have a whole shop full of notebooks and journals that make easy and perfect regiftable and gift stash gifts. I've even got some gratitude journals for kids now. So if you haven't looked at the collection lately, please go to bexb.org/quick shop to see everything that has been added. And I love to suggest notebooks and journals to people giving gifts from a distance because they're all available on the Amazon platform, so you can order from the comfort of your home and just have them mailed to your recipient. And Amazon even lets you write out a little gift message if you choose that option. And if you want to shop for gifts in person in the Phoenix area, I'll be hosting a table at the Super Shopping Heroes fundraiser to support Paint for a Cure, which is an organization that helps support those impacted by ALS. So come say hi on Sunday, November 14th, 2021 in Scottsdale. You can see all the details at bexb.org/letsmeet. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you got some new ideas for gratitude and gifts. I will talk with you next week. This has been Release Your Resistance. Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, make sure you're subscribed and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Also, think about someone who you know who would love this episode and share it with them. There should be a share button on your app if you're listening to this on your phone. If you'd like to continue this conversation one-on-one or in real time, come visit me on my site at bexb.org to see how we can work together.